Hello everyone and welcome. Welcome. The stream is live. How's everyone doing today? Today is Tuesday, January 26th, 2016. I am Phil and welcome to the premiere stream of a game that ended up being the sleeper hit of 2015, a game that I never even heard of. No one really heard of it until all of a sudden came out around mid-2015. People started playing it and were like, holy shit, this game is amazing. I don't know why, because I never played it before. But everyone kind of in 2015 was asking me, Phil, are you going to play Undertale? Phil, when are you going to play Undertale? Phil, you have to play Undertale. Phil, Undertale would be one of your games of the year if you play it. And in particular, from what I'm to understand, people really thought that it would be my cup of tea because years ago, it was, I believe, the summer of 2012 was the summer of retro. I'm pretty sure that was the summer of retro. I played a bunch of old school Super NES games, the classics from my childhood, and one of the games that I played was Earthbound, a turn-based RPG that was released in Japan as Mother 2. It was actually a direct sequel to a game from the NES, and back then, it actually was a pretty a sleeper hit as well, meaning, did it go crazy? Did it have insane sales in the United States? Well, yes and no. At first, no. Initially, it was slow, but then people found out the game was actually quite rare, and it became kind of a collector's item. Today, Earthbound sells for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars if you can actually find it in its original box for the Super NES. But I digress. It was a great, quirky game. Original art style, a lot of cool things in the game, an RPG set in modern times, which is actually quite rare. Most RPGs are either set in fantasy, like a fantasy world of like medieval times kind of deal, or they're set in the future, like sci-fi, right? Earthbound was set in modern times, like the 1990s, and it was such a different kind of game. Unique soundtrack, unique characters, and everything about the game was just different than a standard RPG, and I really loved it. It was one of my favorite games of all time, and I played it in the summer of 2012. Really enjoyed it, but I was very frustrated when I played it because that summer I played a ton of these style of retro games, and I really didn't get a lot of attention on them. A lot of people said, oh, well, Phil's playing retro games, I'm going to take time away from him watching his stuff for the summer, and I'll come back when he starts playing new games again. And that really, I'll be honest, it really did piss me off, because the bottom line is that I feel retro games, the games that really created industries, the games that are the reason why video games are so popular now, should be experienced as a cultural thing, a part of cultural relevance. It's like watching classic movies. You might watch old classic black and white movies now and say, oh, these are cheesy, the acting's not as good, the special effects are terrible, but at least it's a part of movie history, and movie buffs, really want to immerse themselves in the culture of movies. They'll watch those movies. I've watched tons of classic movies in my lifetime, and I really feel it's the same with gaming. That to play those classic games, even if you don't necessarily find them as your cup of tea, to at least know what they are, so you have that cultural relevance and reference as you move forward into the modern era of gaming, right? I think it's very important. I'm kind of not only a fan of gaming in the realm of playing them, but I'm almost like a scholar of games in a lot of ways when it comes to consoles and home gaming. I grew up in that era of time. So anyway, I did this full playthrough of Earthbound in 2012. And those who did watch it absolutely loved it. Well, here we are 2015 and people are like, Phil, this new game Undertale came out of nowhere. It looks like Earthbound. It's quirky like Earthbound, but it's got unique elements to it, and everyone is ranting and raving about this game, and you absolutely should play it. The problem was that Undertale came out at a time when it was the beginning of the hardcore gaming season. It was actually the beginning of the busiest time of the year. If this game had come out, at a very dead time, then I probably would have done it, but that's not what happened. It came out during, I believe, the summer, when I had already had a packed summer of stuff that people wanted me to do, and then boom, new release after new release starting in September, and I just never had a chance to play it. So in a lot of regards, I do regret that, when things like this happen, when a game comes out, and all of a sudden it's getting viral popularity and people are really getting excited for it, a lot of times I get caught up in the stuff that I'm doing already or have already scheduled out and planned, and I don't get a chance to do it. So here we are in late January of 2016, And we're actually on the precipice of new releases. For those of you who don't know, starting next week, every single week for the next 2 months, there are new releases. Next week, you've got Call of Duty Black Ops 3's first DLC with the zombie map and multiplayer. Week after that, you've got Naruto, Unravel, Firewatch. The week after that, Street Fighter V. The week after that, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, Far Cry Primal. The week after that, Twilight Princess HD. The week after that, you got The Division and Hitman. The week after that, UFC 2 and MLB The Show 2016. And do I really need to continue? So if you don't catch my drift, we're about to head into an incredibly busy time of gaming for the year, and I'm going to be really hunkered down playing all the new games, probably into, you know, the end of, if not first half of May. And because of that, you know, I said if I'm going to have an opportunity to do something for downtime, this would be the month. And so this month already, I've played Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, the final Grand Theft Auto game that I had never played before. And I did a few other projects and ongoing stuff here or there, but one candidate that definitely I wanted to play was Undertale, especially because I heard the game's only around 6 to 8 hours long per run, and I heard that your first run, obviously, you're going to be exploring everything. It takes longer. If you do multiple runs, obviously, you know what you're doing, and you can kind of speed through the game again. So I'm kind of interested in that, and I want to see what's going to happen. Now, here's the thing. Let me tell everyone. Here's the deal with Undertale before we get started. I'm going to lay the ground rules down for you, alright? Number one, I don't have stream chat right now. Stream chat exists if you want to chat in the stream chat and talk during the playthrough. It's good that you could. It is opened. And right now, you know, from what I'm understanding, we got mods. Hold on, let me double check it, actually. Whoa, almost fell. Yes. We're good. We've got multiple mods on the stream chat, so those who want to chat it up while I'm playing the game, you can. But I'm not going to have it. I'm not. It's on a laptop on the other side of my office, facing away from me. I don't want to be spoiled or distracted during this playthrough. This is one of those games I want to immerse myself in, and I don't think that being distracted by people spoiling stuff, you know, story spoilers and shit in the stream chat, is going to be very apropos. So I've done everything I can to isolate myself from any kind of spoilers. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I already know that there's 3 ways to play the game because people spoiled that fucking fact about the game before I ever even announced I was playing it. Way back when the game was popular, people would talk about it in my stream chat and talk about it on Twitter and talk about it on forums. And I already know that there's 3 ways to play this game. Number 1, you could go a pacifist route where you don't do any combat at all. Number 2, you could do a full combat route where you kill everything. And number 3, you could do a mix. And apparently that leads to 3 different endings of the game. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to play the game, and I'm going to, I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the first run. I'm going to see how it feels once it starts and see, gee, I feel like doing this or this. And I'm going to do one kind of a run for my first playthrough. And I'm probably going to thoroughly explore and do all kinds of stuff for my first playthrough. And we'll see how long it takes for me to beat the game. I'm playing it today, I'm playing it tomorrow, and I even have a stream reserved for it this coming Friday. So I have 3 major sessions of at least 3+ hours of gameplay scheduled for this week. So if I do this first run through of the game, and I do it one way, and I'm like, wow, this was great, and people are watching, and they're like, wow, this is awesome, we wanted to see Phil play this game, and, you know, people are really excited, they want to see me keep playing, then I'll do a second run through of the game, alright, which probably the polar opposite of whatever I do the first time. We'll see, you know, it all depends. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And that'll continue, so we'll do that this week and next week, paired with the new DLC for Black Ops 3 next week. And here or there, I'll probably play Yakuza 5 once or twice. Okay? And that's the plan. That's the plan until basically February 9th, when insane amounts of new games come out, and then it's just crazy new release mania for 3 months. So, I'm giving Undertale a very large chunk of my schedule here, based off of all the people who've contacted me and said, this game is amazing, you should do this. It's worth multiple playthroughs, and you definitely got to check it out and treat it that way. That's how I'm going to be handling it, alright? So, today, we're going to have around 3.5 hours of Undertale gameplay here on the stream for you. Of course, as always, I'll be recording that and uploading it to DSPGaming immediately following. And we're going to do the same thing tomorrow. Another stream of Undertale coming up tomorrow. Thursday, I'm going to be doing Ask the King, my Q&A show. So if you have not yet, please post up your questions on the kingofhate.com forums. It's the first episode of my Q&A show in 2 months. and I really want to make it a good one. The more questions I have, the better it turns out. So please post up your questions if you have not yet. Okay, and then Friday I'll return to Undertale. So 3 major sessions of Undertale this week. It's also possible that I'll be playing it one more time, but we'll see, because I also want to play Yakuza 5 and not disappoint people who've been following the Yakuza 5 playthrough. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. Sunday, keep in mind, is my Rockathon. On Sunday, I'm returning to Rock Band 4 as a reward for December patrons who pledged to my Patreon. And it's going to be a cool 7+ hour marathon of me playing Rock Band 4. Right now, those patrons are nominating songs for me to play and sing in that marathon on my forums. It's going to be a blast. Last time, people absolutely loved this marathon, and they wanted more, which is why I brought it back as another goal reward so soon. Okay? So that's what to expect for gameplay in the next several days. What about other stuff? Well, tonight, after I do this stream of Undertale, tonight I'm actually going to do an Undertale first impressions video. I'm going to be cutting together, footage from today's gameplay, and I'm going to be doing an edited style first impressions video, hopefully, 10 minutes long, roughly. That's kind of the goal I'm setting. And that's going to be released tonight on my YouTube channel, KO Gaming, which is at youtube.com/KOGaming1. That's the web address for it. So if you haven't checked out the channel yet, at this point, actually I can check, this is pretty cool, because I'm at the PC, I can actually check live. Let me refresh the page. As of right now, KO Gaming has 4,332 subscribers. And I'm pleased, because it's only been live for about a week and a half, not even. And it only has 3 videos on it. But to get a bunch of subscribers over there that quickly is awesome. So I'm very pleased with the performance so far, and it can only get better as time moves on, right? So tonight I'll be releasing my first impressions on Undertale on KO Gaming. Tomorrow night, I'll be releasing my reactions video to Star Wars The Force Awakens, which I finally freaking saw this past weekend. That video will be released on my vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlogs, tomorrow night. Thursday, I'll be doing Ask the King, as I already said, and that'll be released on my vlogging channel. And then Friday night, I'll be releasing my Hits of the Week, which is my montage of the best moments in gaming this week. So I'll be taking stuff from Yakuza 5, stuff from the conclusion of Resident Evil 0, as well as stuff from Undertale, the main focus of this week, and I'll be doing a montage of that. That'll be released hopefully Friday night on KO Gaming as well. Alright, so pretty cool. Other stuff going on this week. And that kind of covers the schedule, so everyone knows what to expect. Lots of Undertale, possibly more Yakuza 5, vlogging, edited videos, lots of neat stuff coming up for you. So, we're going to get started shortly. I'm actually not going to delay too much here. I'm going to get started momentarily, but I will warn everyone of a few things. Number one, I'm playing this on PC. Duh, it's only on PC, so I have to play it on PC. Which means I'm not in my usual setup. I'm not over on my love seat with my usual audio setup and everything. Everything's going to be a little wonky today. We got to work the bugs out. Every time I play a PC game, it's a little different. With volume levels and such. And obviously I want to make it so the game doesn't deafen everyone with the volume level. So I'm going to have to fart with that a little bit. I'm hoping we don't have any technical difficulties. I don't think we will, being that this game is a freaking... Look at it. It's like 16-bit graphics, you know what I mean? It's certainly not a graphic-intensive game or anything. So I don't think we're going to have any issues in that regard. It's not like I'm playing a high-end PC game. It's going to max out my PC or anything like that. So, in that regard, I think we'll be okay. But, I always forewarn everyone when I play something on PC. This is a playthrough that there's potential for things to go wrong. There's potential for the capture to stop working. There's potential for the audio to be too loud or too low. And these are bugs that we have to work out. The bottom line is, since I'm not looking at stream chat, I don't have your feedback. That's the problem. I can't get your feedback on how things are because, I'm not watching stream chat to avoid spoilers. So hopefully I can get things adjusted here. I apologize if this first session things don't go swimmingly and people are like, oh man, I couldn't hear anything or something like that. Just let me know. Obviously on Twitter or in the comments of the videos later when I upload them to YouTube, let me know what's going on with that. And I'll try to adjust it on the fly. At least I get that feedback. I used to never live stream at all, so I never had that feedback. There were entire playthroughs I used to do where the first like 7 hours of the playthrough, the audio levels were off, and people would complain in the videos like, "Can't hear this game." Well, that's the way it works. Sorry, folks. All right. What else? I'll give you the gratuitous plugs. We'll get those out of the way. First of all, gratuitous plug number 1, ladies and gents. I now am putting Amazon associate links in the descriptions of many of my gameplay videos and in the descriptions of my edited content. So right now, if you go to, say, for example, my Resident Evil 0 playthrough from this past week, or if you go to any of the edited style videos that I've released on KO Gaming recently, like the first impressions video of Resident Evil 0 that I have over there, in the description you're going to find a link to Amazon.com to buy the game. If you buy the game using that link, it helps me out. I get a little bit of a kickback, a little bit of a bounty, per se, for every sale that people buy stuff through Amazon using those links. Now, the other thing is you don't have to buy that game. You can just use that link to go to Amazon, and then anything you buy during that session on Amazon, I get credit for. And people have been using these links to buy things like baby car seats, computer accessories, Blu-ray and 4K movies, all kinds of stuff, which is pretty neat. And I made a few bucks. It's nothing major at all, but I made a few bucks doing it. It's just one way. If you already shop on Amazon and you want to help me out, you want to allow me to keep doing this full time, it's a way for you to help me do it, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, gratuitous plug number 2, my Patreon, which I've already mentioned, patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Patreon is going to be a major thing for me in the year of 2016. Because I am currently under a contract with Machinima that is not as lucrative as the contract I've had since I signed with them in 2011. It finally got changed. I'm making way less money. Not to say that I was rich to begin with, because I'm certainly not. But yeah, I need a turnaround here. I need to basically get things going, not only on DSPGaming, but on my new channels, in order to be able to do this full time in the future. You know, it's a very uncertain time for me right now. And I'm very frank with you guys about that. Most other people wouldn't be, but I am. The good thing is, I only do these gratuitous plugs on the pre-stream. I'm not going to interrupt gameplay or anything with them, right? But anyway, I digress. Patreon is going to be a major source of support so that I can keep doing this as a job. Whether you pledge to try to get a personal perk, such as a text or verbal thank you in my videos. Whether you pledge to try to get your questions answered on Ask the King, or you want to get your own private Q&A video made, no matter what it is, every little bit helps. Even as little as $1 helps, okay? And in addition, if you pledge this month, you are contributing to the goal of the Patron's Choice Playthrough. What is that? Well, what it means is if we hit our funding level goal for this month of January, for which we now have 6 days. Actually, I take it back. Holy shit. There's only 5 days left in January. So 5 days left to pledge to my Patreon, okay? If we hit the funding level in the next 5 days, I will be doing a Patron's Choice playthrough where people who pledge $5 or more this month will be nominating and voting on a game playthrough for me to do. Last year we did this several times, and I played Minecraft. I also did a full playthrough of Persona 4, and I played Fallout New Vegas for a second run with Direct Capture. All 3 of those playthroughs, in my opinion, were fucking awesome. I'm glad that I did them. It's games that normally I wouldn't have done. I certainly wouldn't have done a second run of a game like Fallout without any kind of prompting. And, you know, those other 2 games are games that I never even played. Game series I had avoided over the years. And quite honestly, I'm very happy that the patrons nominated and voted for those games, because they really opened my eyes to a lot of gaming culture that I didn't necessarily understand. So, 5 days left to pledge to my Patreon. If you like what I'm doing, you like the daily live streams, you like the daily on-demand footage on DSPGaming, you like the new edited content on KO Gaming, you like the increase in vlogging and the improvements to my vlogs on the King of Hate vlogs, and you want to see this continue, please pledge to my Patreon. Patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Last but not least, my girlfriend Leanna has her own internet-based business where she makes handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts of various scents. This is much better quality than the stuff you're going to buy at the store, because it really is soap. Most of the soap, per se, that you buy at the store is actually a detergent bar that dries out your skin or leaves it feeling oily, one or the other. This will not do either. This will actually clean your skin legitimately. And by the way, it's better for you, it's healthier for your skin, and it smells great. I can personally attest to this because I've used her soap for 2+ years now. Right now, I'm actually washing with a soap that's a combination of chocolate and Moroccan mint. It looks like a little mint peanut butter cup almost. And it fucking smells great. I love it. I absolutely love the stuff she makes. She's had over 130 sales in the year of 2015 and had nothing but positive feedback from her customer base. They love her products. She has many repeat customers that come back after they try out just 1 or 2 soaps because they realize how great this shit is. So definitely check it out. You can find her shop at etsy.com/shop/the black currant, spelled C-U-R-R-A-N-T. And right now she's selling her fall and winter lines of products, which include many different kind of holiday scented themes and stuff like that. Stuff that I actually helped her choose. In the next month, she's actually going to start work on her spring line of products, which I believe is going to launch in a couple months. That'll be pretty cool. In addition to soap, she actually does wax tart melts, which are little blocks of scented wax that you melt in a wax tart melter, which is very cheap. You can get them, I've seen them for as cheap as $10-15. And it makes your house smell good. It's a great alternative to candles, where candles you have open flame. And if you have pets or you have, you know, drapes or anything you're nervous that the open flame could, you know, set on fire or damage, the wax tart melt is a perfectly safe alternative. And it's another popular thing that she sells on that site. So anyway, etsy.com/shop/the black currant. Give it a look. Recommend it, strongly recommend it for gifts. I mean, in particular, it's a really cool thing to give to someone and say, here's some, you know, high quality stuff versus, oh, I went to the store, you know, I went to Yankee Candle and I bought you, you know, a thing of wax tart melts. No, this is good stuff. People who bought her stuff say that's better than anything you could buy at the store. So definitely check it out. All right. So that's it for the gratuitous plugs, ladies and gents. I think it is time. Do you think it's time? I think it's time. I think it's time to start Undertale, ladies and gents. What do you think? No? No? You think I should just not play games today? Okay, take the day off? Good. Alright, see you guys later. I'm taking the day off. Alright, I'm kidding. You've been sitting here waiting the whole time. I'm pretty sure I'm going to play Undertale. I'm not going to be a dick here. One final reminder. I don't have stream chat open. So there's no spoilers, and, you know, I'm not going to be spoiled while I'm playing the game. I'm doing it cold. I'm not sure how I'm going to do my first run. I'm going to play it by ear here and make an on-the-fly decision as I start playing. And if people keep turning out for the streams, and people watch the videos on YouTube and are enjoying them, I'm going to do multiple playthroughs of Undertale. But only if. You know, if I play the game and 10 videos in, people, oh, I'm bored. I don't want to keep watching a long game, even though it's not long. I've heard it's only like 6 hours long. Then I'm not going to do multiple playthroughs, you know? We'll see. We'll see how it goes, and we'll go from there, all right? Thank you, everyone. Let's end the pre-stream, and let's get started with gameplay. Very nice.